Hey everybody, it is Radleigh here with the Angelic Weather Report for July 7th through the 13th. Now this week we are using Animal Guides Tarot cards for our Angelic Weather Report. And we're using Angel Tarot cards to tell us what archangels are supporting us on our journey this particular week. So let's go ahead and get started and have a look at what 4 cards have shown up to give us guidance for where we are headed right now. Okay, so we are going to switch to the cards. And so the first card that we have, these cards down in front are Animal Guides Tarot cards. And this is Angel Tarot cards behind it that are our Archangel support for this week. So the first card that we have is Knight of Earth, and that is ruled by Seahorse. And this card says it is important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. So the wonderful thing here about the seahorses is that they have been around for millions of years, but they haven't changed a whole lot. This particular card represents a knight that isn't in movement. And you can see here that the seahorse has hooked his tail around the seaweeds to keep himself from moving. So they move kind of slowly. They're slow swimmers. They have a tendency to camouflage themselves while they check things out. Now, what's also a little bit interesting about seahorses is it's the male that carries the babies to term. So it can represent stay-at-home dads as well as working moms. But they are no stranger to hard work and getting things done. It's just they don't race to the finish line. That's not their way of doing things. Now, the archangel that is supporting us in this is Michael, and that makes sense because Michael is this archangel that makes us feel safe and protected, and the seahorse wants to feel that way. That's why he moves slowly and has a tendency to camouflage himself. So Michael can make us feel safe and protected and strong. The next card that we have is, oh, we love that. We love that. This is 9 of Water, wish comes true. What you want now comes to you, ruled by Pomeranian dogs. Now you'll notice there's even a genie's lamp here. And this card says, now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude for all that you have and all that's still to come. Now, Pomeranians are absolutely adorable. They're one of the most popular dog breeds in the whole world. They're sweet, they're loyal, and they were actually shepherding dogs. And in fact, here's a crazy thing for you to know. Did you know that Shelties, and for those of you who know me really well, you know that I'm a big Sheltie fan. That's my thing. My dogs are Shelties. Well, Shelties actually came from breeding Pomeranians and Collies. The Sheltie Islands needed small dogs to do herding, but they didn't have a lot of food to feed them. And so they shrank Collies, which took a lot of resources, down by crossbreeding them with Pomeranians, and that's how we got Shelties. So they have a lot of the same sort of like personality traits. Very sweet, very, very intelligent, and they show you that our most luxurious dreams can come true, and they also show us that good things come in small packages. So here we have Archangel Jophiel. Now here, that's really interesting because Jophiel is here to keep our thoughts positive. Well, this is how we make our wishes come true, right? By staying positive in all ways, staying in a place of knowing that what we want to manifest is going to happen. And so that's why we have Jophiel here, keeping our thoughts positive. She's also known as the feng shui angel. So maybe you need to do a little bit of feng shui. This Pomeranian needs to do a little bit of feng shui because that's a mess right there, right? So if we recap, we've got the seahorse saying we can take our time, we can go slow, but we will get our work done and our wishes will come true. The next card that we have showing up is 4 of Air, 4 of Air. Well, 4 of Air is ruled by the koala bear. And this particular card says Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you any closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring the answers that you seek. Now, what's really interesting about this is koalas are also, just like seahorses, very slow moving. They're very sedentary. They don't move. They sleep for 20 hours a day. Can you imagine? I'm lucky if I get 5 hours in. So this card can indicate a need to get more rest, but their sleepy lives symbolize the dreams and the magical messages that can arise during your non-waking hours, which in turn is a metaphor for the answers that come to you through meditation. Well, this is all making sense, right? Move slowly this week. Take your time. Listen to your intuition. Look for where your dreams are giving you insight. All of this to help your dreams to actually come true. Helping us with this is Archangel Haniel. We had Haniel last week as well. Listening to our intuition, listening to our guidance. That matches perfectly this whole concept that meditation and prayer will give you the answers that you need. The final card for this week is the Page of Air, seagulls. And so this card says, this is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. This is like, take the message, ignore the messenger story. Now, a seagull represents a person that's excellent at assessing and solving intellectual problems. However, their desire to be of assistance and their analytical way of thinking means they might communicate in a way that feels kind of curt. Seagulls are clever birds who learn, remember, and pass on behaviors. As their names apply, they spend a good bit of time in the air over water. Now, as water represents emotion and air intellect, they are seen as flying high above the currents of emotion and evaluating situations from a very cerebral viewpoint. And so the archangel helping us with that is Uriel. Uriel is the archangel that is known to be the archangel of epiphany. Well, that fits with what we're talking about with the whole concept of being in this space of our intellects helping us in a very powerful and meaningful way. So here we've got this whole story that's saying this week is about moving slowly. It's not about racing through things. It's about taking your time, getting clear about what it is that you want, but doing the work. It is about methodical work, but it's about going within and listening to the messages that you get to help guide you so that you can make your dreams come true. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the deck of Animal Guides Tarot cards, and I am going to fold the cards from our reading back in so that they can show up. If you'll remember last week in the Angelic Weather Reports, a card did actually show up again. So this gives us that opportunity for the full depth and breadth of Tarot to show up. Because what are we going to do now? Well, this is your chance to get a reading from me. So I want you to think for a moment, if you were sitting across from me on a desk, what would you want me to pull a card for you for? What reading would you want to get? And I want you to think about that. Concentrate right now on that question. Is it a question about romance, or is it a question about career or your health, your life purpose? Whatever it is, just think about what question would you ask me if you were sitting across from me. Just think about that for a moment while I shuffle and throw my cards all over my desk. All right, now, what I want you to do now is I'm going to pull four cards, all right? And so I want you to think about which of these cards is the answer to your question. Is it card number 1? Is card number 2 the answer to your question? Card number 3? Or is the answer to your question for your personal reading from Rad card number 4? So think about that for just 1 second. So if you felt drawn to card number 1, the answer to your question is 10 of Earth. This is Golden Retriever, and it says, contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. If you felt drawn to card number 2, then it's 7 of air. And this card is ruled by Magpie. And it says, caution will help you avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources, such as a loss of your time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. If you were drawn to card number 3, it's Ace of Fire, which is White Tiger. And this card says, a wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may have come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and passionately pursue every possibility. And finally, the 4th card is Knight of Fire, ruled by Dolphin. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. So that is our angelic weather report for the week, as well as your personal reading from me. Now, if you enjoyed getting a brief, quick personal reading from me, you can get a bigger one. And because I am doing this thing called the Radleigh Valentine Show, think back to old Hay House radio, and it's got that same sort of vibe. And I'm doing it in front of a live studio audience. Live studio audience equals Zoom. So you can show up and get the opportunity to get a reading. That's all this whole thing is a message from me and then a bunch of readings from Rad. So you can get that opportunity. Now, if you'd like that opportunity, all you have to do is go to radleighvalentine.com/show, SHOW, and sign up. And that way we will send you an email and say, hey, it's time for the Radleigh Valentine Show. Show up and check it and see if you can get an opportunity to get a much longer reading from Radleigh than the ones that you get through choosing your own card in the Angelic Weather Report. That's the Angelic Weather Report for July 7th through the 13th. It's going to be a good week. Just go slow, okay? Slow it down. Chill out, okay? Chill out. And always remember, life is magic.